Hi guys, it's Stock Curry. I've got a migraine, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to get straight into today's stock picks. My wife recommended that I take the day off and just let you guys know that I couldn't produce a video because I was sick, but I told her no, my viewers need me. They need their morning stock picks. So I took a bunch of medicine and I'm just going to power through this so that I can get these out to you guys. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks from the top 10 YouTubers. I then compile all of my analysis into a daily video that I post right here on this channel. I spend hours every day watching YouTube videos so that you don't have to. All you have to do is watch one video each day and you will get every single stock pick from the top 10 YouTubers. And all I ask in return is that you click that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get to today's stock picks, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a financial advisor and none of the YouTubers I follow are financial advisors either. Today's video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. If you're wondering what app I'm currently using, this is the Webull desktop app. This is the app that I use for my trading, and it's also the app that I use in all of my videos. Finally, I know that the ticker symbols can be kind of small and hard to read, so if you'll look down in the description of this video, I do have every ticker that we're talking about in the description of this video, and you can use that to follow along. All right, let's get into today's stock picks. First up is ABML. This is American Battery Metals Corporation. They're a lithium battery recycler. My financial friend bought ABML today, and my financial friend let us know about something that nobody else has mentioned yet. The CEO of ABML is paid based upon the milestones he meets. The reason that's important is because that is the same pay structure that Elon Musk negotiated with TSLA, and we all saw how fast that stock went up. Also, they just received a $4.5 million grant. Keep in mind that grants do not have to be paid back. And as of Q4 2020, their total liabilities were only $4.72 million. So their balance sheet is looking excellent right now. This stock looks great for a long-term hold. Just keep in mind that this is an OTC company, so until they can get listed on the NASDAQ, you'll be limited to buying this with TD Ameritrade or Fidelity, which is just another reason why you want accounts at multiple brokers. I personally have accounts at 3 different brokers, TD Ameritrade, Webull, and SoFi. And I recommend you open accounts at those also, so that you can trade whatever you want, even if a broker goes down. For example, TD Ameritrade often crashes during high volume days, but Webull has never crashed for me. On the other hand, Webull does not offer OTC securities, but TD Ameritrade does. So it's good to have accounts with both. Next up is ACTC. This is an EV SPAC that is merging with Proterra. Proterra is an EV company that makes power drive trains for EV buses and also full buses. ZipTrader upped his price target on ACTC to $45 pre-merger, which would represent a 70% upside from today's closing price. He also recommended you add money to this play, but said it would be best to buy this in the mid to low $20 range. We saw on the hourly chart yesterday that this broke out of its downward trend, and that was further confirmed today. Next up is AMD. This is Advanced Micro Devices, better known as AMD. They are a computer processor and graphics manufacturer. ZipTrader said it was beat down on earnings, but said it was an overreaction. Now let me pull up the RSI. ZipTrader said it's showing oversold on the RSI and is showing signs of turning around. That said, I will let you know that oversold on the RSI is typically considered any number below 30, and AMD only got down to 38 on the RSI. However, AMD almost always bounces after the RSI drops down to 37, so in this case I think ZipTrader is right. Next up is BABA. This is Alibaba, and they're China's largest e-commerce company. They're comparable to Amazon in the United States. ZipTrader reminded us that BABA is reporting earnings Tuesday before the opening bell. ZipTrader recommended that if BABA has good earnings, you should add to your position, and if BABA has bad earnings and the share price goes down, you should add a lot to your position. ZipTrader said that no matter what happens with earnings, BABA is very cheap right now. Next up is BFT. This is a SPAC and they're merging with PaySafe, which is an online payments platform with a focus on gaming systems. Richard Allen let us know about news today where PaySafe just announced that they have expanded their partnership with the Virginia Lottery to add PaySafe's income access affiliate marketing expertise. Virginia is going to use PaySafe's income access to expand their online lotto platform through digital and retail partners. If you want more information about this announcement and what it means for BFT, please go watch Richard Allen's video that he uploaded Monday evening. Next up is CCIV. This is a SPAC rumored to be merging with Lucid Motors. Lucid Motors is an American EV company and a competitor to Tesla. Larry Jones said this is going back up because people are starting to pull their money out of GME and AMC and put it back into other stocks, such as CCIV. He also reminded everyone that you can make more money on the warrants than you can by buying the stock. Just don't forget to sell the warrants before the merger. Stockmo and Richard Allen both think this will get to $40 or more once a merger is announced. Now, you might have noticed that CCIV closed up after hours an additional 11.5%. Richard Allen posted a video Monday night discussing this move and basically explained that there was no news, which is good. So if you were holding CCIV, just continue to hold. It looks like it's going up because there are some pretty large orders being placed, which means large institutions are buying CCIV. And I can't recall that ever happening before a merger is even announced. Next up is FB, Facebook. This is Facebook, and Ken and Grace calls FB a banger. They have been reporting great earnings, but their stock price has not gone up that much. The average one-year analyst price target is $340, which represents a 30% upside potential from today's closing price. We can see on the weekly chart that Facebook has a long-term upward trend line, and it currently is sitting at the bottom of that upward trend. So I think FB would make a great long-term hold. You might want to consider adding FB right now to your long-term growth stock portfolio. Next up is FST. This is Fast Acquisition Corp. They have a number of companies in their portfolio, including Golden Nugget Casino, Golden Nugget Online Gaming, Landry Steakhouse, and more. Stockmo expects FST to explode as the country starts to open back up. Next up is GME, GameStop. Do I dare do technical analysis on this? No, not even going to go there. Dead Inside gave an update today. He showed us that during the Volkswagen Infinity squeeze, the short squeeze took time to happen. The price actually went up steadily for almost 3 years before the sudden short squeeze happened. So keep in mind that this is going to go on for a long time. Now currently Robinhood is limiting how many shares people can buy, so the price got artificially pushed down today. We probably won't see the price go up again until people transfer from Robinhood to other brokers that allow people to buy as much GME as they want. Now we really don't know where GME will go from here. I still think this is a gamble, and I would personally prefer plays that are a lot more certain. Short interest is still over 100% though, so a true short squeeze still has not happened. This is really just going to come down to who gives up first, short sellers or retail investors. Next up is GNOG. This is Golden Nugget Online Gaming. This kind of looks like a monster trying to eat something. Sorry, it's the migraine. Stockmo said GNOG is on sale right now, but mentioned that it could drop all the way down to $12.50. Looking at the technicals, I do not think it will get that low. We have a descending wedge pattern, which is bullish once it breaks out above the top descending trend line. And based upon the after hours right now, it looks like that might happen Tuesday. So if this does go up above $19 Tuesday pre-market, then I think this will go back up from there. Just be careful and wait for confirmation. Make sure we don't have a false breakout like we did back on January 25th. Next up is IDEX. This is Ideanomics. They make a wireless charging station for EVs, similar to how your phone charges on a wireless charging pad. Chris Hain mentioned IDEX again today. He didn't recommend buying it, he just recommended it more as an update, since it went up over 12% Monday. Zip Trader also mentioned IDEX today, based upon popular demand from his subscribers. Zip Trader says IDEX behaves like a typical penny stock. It goes up and down massively over time. So he recommends you keep your positions to short-term only. That said, the recent run-up has been a lot more consistent, which is good. But he does call IDEX very speculative because they are constantly changing their focus and even the name of their company. Now onto the chart, you can see the short-term momentum we have in IDEX. And I do think you can buy this for a little bit cheaper if you're interested in this stock. Next up is MARA. This is a Bitcoin miner, and Zip Trader is very bullish on Bitcoin. He thinks you should buy MARA on any dip, such as the one that we got Monday. Zip Trader has a $60 price target on MARA, which would represent a 189% upside from Monday's closing price. Next up is NIO. This is a Chinese EV manufacturer. Ken and Grace let us know that NIO increased delivery numbers again. This is huge because, for one, China has been locked down for much of January, and two, NIO usually has their best month in December. So for January's delivery numbers to be higher than December's is huge. The only reason the price of NEO didn't go up is because of the current market correction. So this really is a great time to buy NIO. We are seeing consolidation right now, but we also have support at $56. Personally, I think NIO is just about as low as it's going to get. So I'm going to set my buy-enter price at $60 and my ideal buy-in price at $57. I do plan to buy NIO on Tuesday. Next up is NNDM. This is Nano Dimension. They're a 3D computer chip printer manufacturer. ZipTrader said that any price below $15 would be a good deal, but he did warn that NNDM likes to do share offerings, so we could see the price go lower. Chris Hain also mentioned NNDM today, but did not tell his viewers to buy it, which is unusual for Chris Hain. Looking at the chart, we can see that it has really struggled to close above the short-term trend line. It is also down after hours, and to me, this points to a continued drop on NNDM. Now, I don't know how fast it will drop, but I do think it will bottom out once it hits its longer-term trend line. Given that, I'm going to lower my buy-under price on NNDM down to $12 and the ideal buy-in price down to $11. So just be patient. I think you'll be able to get this one much cheaper next week. Next up is SENS. This is Senseonics. They're an implantable blood sugar glucose monitoring manufacturer. They allow diabetes patients to monitor their blood sugar 24/7 without pricking. The next big catalyst for SENS is FDA and CE approval of their 180-day sensor. That is not expected to happen until next year, though. Now, my financial friend let us know about some news that was released today showing that Senseonics just announced the start of commercialization efforts of their 180-day sensor with a European diabetes care company. That is important because it means once SENS gets CE approval for their 180-day sensor, they will be able to get to market quickly. Further, my financial friend let us know that SENS has a 34% short interest, which could cause a small short squeeze. Technically, we do have a bull flag on the chart, which points to SENS breaking out to the upside on Tuesday, and we can already see that starting in the after hours on Monday. Next up is SKLZ. This is Skills, and they're an esports gaming company. Stockmo said this is on discount. We have two trend lines, one short-term and one long-term. We closed right at the bottom of the short-term trend line today, so we'll have to see if this bounces and continues its short-term momentum, or if it drops back down to $23.50 and continues its long-term momentum. We won't know what SKLZ is going to do until Tuesday pre-market. Next up is SLV. This is silver. The traveling trader talked about the possibility of a short squeeze on silver today. As you can see on the chart, rumors of a possible short squeeze sent silver up today, but it has since started to come back down. I do believe we are going to drop back down to the trend line before going back up again. But longer term, the traveling trader gave a $50 price target at SLV, which would represent an 87% upside from today's closing price. Now we can check that price target by looking at the gold to silver ratio. In theory, gold is supposed to trade at a multiple of 65 times the price of silver. Gold is currently trading at around $1,865, which means silver should be trading at around $28.69. And that is exactly where the spot price of silver is right now. So if silver is going to have a short squeeze, then we can expect gold to go up as well. Given that, there are multiple ways you can play this. One is to buy SLV. Another is to buy a silver or gold mining company. Another is to buy futures contracts. Another is to buy call options on SLV or silver futures. And another is to buy gold or silver bullion. Whatever way you choose to play this, just keep in mind that it could take months or even years for the price of gold and silver to double. So this is not a get-rich-quick play like GME and AMC were. Further, I will also let you know that Larry Jones mentioned SLV today and recommended that you wait for a dip to buy. And that lines up with what I recommend also. Next up is SOL. This is Reina Sola, and they're a solar energy company. ZipTrader said this is a recovery play. He said any price below $25 is a good deal if you're willing to hold this long term. Next up is THCB. This is a SPAC, and they're merging with an EV battery manufacturer. Larry Jones recommends getting this on your watch list, but does not recommend buying right now because it just ran up massively. Next up is TRIT. This is Triteris. They're a fintech company focused on connecting commodities traders to lenders so that commodities traders can source capital. Larry Jones mentioned TRIT today after Dead Inside did an in-depth review on it last week. Larry Jones said TRIT has been beat down lately because Weiss LLC filed a class action lawsuit against them. But keep in mind that Weiss LLC are ambulance chasers, which means that most times these lawsuits go nowhere and end up getting dropped. So if or when that happens, we can expect the price of TRIT to go back up. Larry Jones said that he has another stock that went up 500% after Weiss LLC lost their case against that company. Now there's an old saying in the stock market, and that is, be greedy when others are fearful. fearful. Right now, a lot of people are fearful with TRIT, so now is the time to be greedy and buy this stock. Next up is VYNE. This is VYNE Therapeutics, and they're a pharmaceutical company. VYNE just received FDA approval today for one of their medicines, which was announced Monday morning. It has already gone up a little bit, but not a lot. Ken and Grace let us know that analyst price targets range from $3.50 to $7. So this still has plenty of upside potential. The average analyst price target of $5.50 gives VYNE an upside potential of 139%. I'll put a buy under price at $3. Just make sure that you set a stop loss because this is a penny stock and it will be very volatile. Next up is WKHS. This is Workhorse. They're an American commercial vehicle manufacturer getting into EVs. ZipTwitter likes WKHS, but says at this price, it is a hold. He recommends waiting for a pullback below $35 before getting in if you do not already own WKHS. Next up is ZOM. This is Zomedica. I wasn't sure which way this was going to go yesterday, and as you can see, it broke out to the upside. So that's a good sign for some short-term growth. Now that we have confirmation on upward movement, you might want to consider buying ZOM. Chris Haines said he is waiting for this to come back down before buying more shares, but he's waiting for this to get below $1, and honestly, I don't know if it will ever get that low again. So I'm going to put a buy under price on ZOM of $1.10 and an ideal buying price of $1. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And if you want to get some free stock, sign up for Webull through my link in the description below. That will help you out and it also helps the channel out. And finally, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading and I will see you tomorrow.